Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, today, I hope you have all seen the schedule. So, we thought of starting with everything with your institutional email, right? So, today, myself and Akila will jointly conduct this session, and time to time we are going to switch. And I think the session is being recorded, and the recording will be available with Darshana sir. So, you may request it later if you need it. So, why we very first of all, let me start and share. I have made a brief presentation. Okay, so let me start with the institutional email, right, and associated services. So why we start with this is now from this year onwards, now because of the corona pandemic, now we all know that everything went to online, right? So most of the things went online. Now that gives a huge boost to the Sri Lankan universities to use the online services as well. Now, very beginning, right? Now, if you think of few years back, right? Even the institutional email, still some people are not using the institutional email now. All this international level services like Zoom and other stuff were not being there. But fortunately, or unfortunately, the situation, but fortunately for the IT, now everything boosted. So therefore, you have to, whether you like or not, you have to use the online things for your day-to-day lives. Now, with everything related to IT within the university, the institutional email is the most important thing that you will have, because from here onwards, now all the services like email, online storages and document sharing and everything, every related thing, and access into the other universities' library systems, and so many services will be done through your institutional email, right? That means if you don't have an institutional email, that means you can't log into those systems. Actually, that has been already started. So the facilities will not be available. Therefore, the institutional email plays a major role in universities' day-to-day work. So, right. So let me give you a brief introduction to the email, right? Very brief, right? So this is kind of a technical stuff. Now, things that you should know is, very first thing is writing your name in the internet, right? Now, as Sri Lankans, right, we may have several names. Let's consider our full name, right? We have several parts, but in the internet, right, most of the foreign people, they have only two parts, your first name and the last name. So therefore, in the internet, always when you go to some website and if you try to fill up a form or if you try to register, always it only asks for the first name and the last name. Sometimes it may ask for your title, right? Title, first name, last name. So those are the only three things that is required in the internet, right? So therefore, now you have to decide, right, which part I'm going to use as my first name and which part I'm going to use as my last name. So that's up to you. So you have to decide that, and you have to stick to that, because we are going to incorporate that into your email address as well. Now, if somebody gets an email from you, so they are going to see your first name and last name, whether the title is there or not, right? So now for an example, right, my full name would be Dr. with the title Dr. Uppanith Sithila Leenarachi. So in the internet, I'm using this as Dr. Uppanith and Sithila part, right? I thought of you, yeah, I'm mentioning that I have something, I need to show that. So therefore, I put S and dot, right? And I kept everything to my first name. So usually in the internet, the dot symbol is allowed with the names. So therefore, you can use the title. And if the title is not asked separately, you can use your title, first name, and the other initials if you wish, right? So that's why I told you that you need to decide on that. So there's no hard fast rule for that. So you need to decide. And Leenarachi is my last name. So therefore, when the places, all the places that I need to use my name, I'm going to use Dr. Uppanith as my first name and Leenarachi as the last name. So therefore, if you do not have decided that yet, please decide that, because you need that, right, in the future. Because in the internet systems, you will be identified through your first name and the last name, right? Right. And one more thing, if you want to interrupt, right, and if you have any questions, please interrupt and ask, because we need to clear it out at the moment, right? So anybody wish to ask questions, please unmute your microphone and please ask, right? Right. Now, next thing, how can I get an institutional email account? So very basically, as you know, right, the YMB University now consists of 3 premises: Kuliapitiya, Makandura, and Labuyaya. Presently, the Kuliapitiya premises and the Labuyaya premises, all the ICT related services will be provided by the ICT center in Kuliapitiya premises. For the Makandura 2 faculties, there's a separate ICT center, as you all know, right? So they are providing the same facilities to those faculties as well. So the policy is, right, if you are a permanent staff member of the university, right, that means academic, administrative, or non-academic, you are eligible for an institutional email account. So you can make a request to the ICT center and you will get an email account. There's a chance. Right. Next thing, creating your institutional email, right? So the service is offered by the ICT center. Now, you should know that with every email address, there are 3 things, right? The username is separated with @ by the domain name or the organizational identifier. So we, as the YMB University of Sri Lanka, we are coming under academic domain name, and under Sri Lanka, that is domain name is LK, right? So @ and the domain name is not going to change for you. So that is unique for YMB University. And the username, there's a privilege that you can get whatever the name you like. So basically, when we come up to creating email accounts, if the user specifically did not ask for a particular username, what ICT centers usually do is put their first name as the username. But if the first name is not available, they are going to use first name plus the first letter of the last name. So in my case, if somebody has been taken Upanit email first, we are going to use Upanit from the Liyanarachi part L. So Upanit L at wyb.ac.lk, like that. So we are taking letter by letter if the same name is there, right? So keep in mind, people, that for the YMB University, that means at wyb.ac.lk, the in front username is a unique identifier. There can be only one user for that. So it's like your ID number, right? So therefore, this entire email address is unique for entire world. So therefore, a lot of online systems are being using this entire email, institutional email, so the email address as a username, because it is a unique one, right? So keep that in mind. So that is just for get a little bit of technical idea, right? Right. Next part, where is our email server? A lot of people ask, are we handling our institutional emails? Particularly, no. The university has decided a few years back to put our services in Google, right? Because Google is one of the world's biggest email providers. So they are offering institutes to use their servers to run institutes' own email services. Therefore, we have put that. There are pros and cons, right? Technically speaking, there are pros and cons, which is not, I'm not going to discuss it here, right? But most of the time, the users expect from an email is to be delivered when they send an email, right? So that means reliability should be there. So that is the very first thing we have decided. The second one is the security. So with Google, that those things are like having really high ratings. So that's why we have put our services to the Gmail, as I know, right? So with that, who can create email accounts? So now keep in mind, people, only 2 persons are currently assigned to manage email accounts. One is administrator for emails in Kolyapitia premises, that is Mr. Akila Jayasankar, and second one is the administrator for Makandra premises. As I know, I think Mr. Dumidu, the system engineer, is controlling, as I know, but there can be changes. That is depending on their decision, right? So anybody can be assigned to that. So for Makandra premises. So therefore, only 2 persons are there. Only those 2 persons can handle that. So if you need anything to be done with your email addresses, you need to directly contact these people and get it done, right? Now, so the next question, right? Now I am putting these things as questions because a lot of people have been asking these questions for a long period. So I thought of clearing these things out first. Can administrators access your email? No, definitely no, right? Never they can see your email, so never they can access your Google Drive or whatever. They only can create your email account. If you request from them, they can reset the password for you, or they can rename your usernames. Like if you want to change, if you want to remove initial from your first name or something like that, they can do that. They can support on that and delete their account, right? Which usually they don't do, right? So only those 4 things can be done with an administrator. So they never can be accessed your email, right? They can't. Right. Next part. Now, as I mentioned, we are using Gmail, right, as our email provider. Now, next question is Gmail secure? Yes. So I have extracted some definitions from Kaspersky.com, one of the very best virus guards in the world, right? So I have given the links. So I'm going to share these slides with Darshana sir, right? If anybody needs, you can get it. So the link is given, so you can go to those articles and you can see for yourself, right? So these are very kind of technical stuff that I'm not going to describe here, but people who are familiar with technical stuff, IT related technical stuff, security, they know how secure this is from these right? And that is from the server side. That means when we send an email through Gmail, right? Is it secure? Yes, right. But for the account side, that means if you have put a weak password, or if you don't have a recovery email or a phone number set to your email address, email account, or if you don't have high securities like two-factor authentication is enabled, then the US account is not secure. That is from your side, and always the user side, right? So some people are still using ASDF1234 as the password. So very weak, right? Everybody can either guess that, or computer programs can generate that, right? So always use a stronger password. Like some are using like 6-digit password, 4-digit password. Now it is not allowed, usually with the computer systems. Definitely you need to use little bit higher level of digits, let's say 12, maybe 14, right? And mix everything. So if you need to know how I protect my password, or how should I make my password more stronger, so the link is given here, right? Let me share it with you as well, right? So yeah, hope everybody can see this, right? So this is the first link, right? So there's a huge letter, right, from the Kaspersky.com. So you better read it out, and it clearly says how strong or how weak, right? And in the second link from the Google, it says create a strong password and more secure account, right? So they have been given several steps. So you better go through this and very simply change your settings according to this. So you will have a very secure account there, right? Right. Now, by saying these things, right, what ICTC expects from you, right? That is the most important thing, right? Now, when we look at all the email accounts in the university, now, before a few months back, we have observed only 10 to 12% are still using institutional email, right? None of the administrative officers are using, none of the non-academic staff members are using institutional email. So therefore, we have started creating email addresses. So now the task has been complete. Every non-academic and administrative member has been given the email address. Now they were sometimes they might be informed, some maybe not, because now we have finished creating the accounts. Now within this week, we are going to share those information with all the users, their email address and their passwords, so they can log into their email address and use them. Now, because now we have discussed these things with the Vice Chancellor as well, the former Vice Chancellor and the acting Vice Chancellor as well. So to use only the institutional email for official communication, because using a basic Gmail account, right? Let's say open it at gmail.com. Anybody can create that and anybody can send an email, right? So that can use to manipulate somebody else, right? So it is not recognized as a official document. Now, if you are using institutional email, only ICT centers can create it. They can manage it. So when you send an email through that, it can be treated as an official document. So therefore, please create your institutional email address and switch to that, because you need this in future, right? Without this, you will not be allowed to log into the services offered by the Learn or the ICT centers in near future, right? So basically start with what we expect, right? Now, the very first thing we need to do is, people who have this, right? You need to check and confirm your email account name, right? So first name, last name thing comes now. So you better check what is the name set for you, because it is not allowed to you to change it. So only ICT Center can do that for you, or you can use an alias. So don't use aliases, right? We can do that for you. So check it and let us know, right, whether you need to change it or not. Next one is assign recovery email and mobile phone number, right? So this is for the safety, right? If you forget your password, right, if you lost it somehow, if you have assigned a recovery email and a phone number, so you can recover the password really easy. So they are going to send a recovery email or a SMS, and they will ask for particular answers for the questions you have been set. So then you can easily recover your email address without asking ICT Center to recover that for you, right? So next one is set a secure password, right? Now, if you go through that article and if you compare the things mentioned in the article with your password, current password, I think I'm pretty sure that 75% passwords are very weak, right? So you better increase the security or increase the difficulty of your password to a high level to secure your account, because everything from here on, you need your email account to access. So ICT systems, right? So securing your account is an essential thing. Next one is setting an email signature, right? Now, a lot of people are not using email signatures. So I will tell you how to do that and why it is necessary in few minutes, right? And next thing is avoid registering to websites other than educational websites with your institutional email. So this is a very important thing that you need to follow, because some people, right, when they switch to institutional email, they are going to use it to register whatever the website that they visit with the institutional email. So the result would be you will receive hundreds of emails per day, right, saying marketing stuff and other stuff. So there's a huge chance that you are going to miss an important email, right? So, and again, today we are going to discuss how to filter your emails, right, as well. So we are going to demonstrate everything for you, right? Right. So that's all for the introductory part, right? So let's talk more with demonstration then. Okay. So before I moving on to the demonstration, right? Is there any questions from the audience?
Hello, Dr. Panek.
Yes, sir.
Is it secure that we are using Google-based server? It is what about the other universities? They are also using the Google server? Email,
Actually, out of 16, sir, more than 10 are using Gmail right now because I told that there are pros and cons both. Now Moroto is not using because now they are like equipped with very high-end IT facilities, right? Now the thing is, now if we are to keep the server with ourselves, right? Yes, it is more secure. Yeah, we can secure. But the problem is, right, if the electricity goes out, if the server starts, if the server fails, entire university's email services is going to stop. So that means we have to keep uninterrupted infrastructure facilities to keep servers like that. So I think sir knows really well how good our electricity system and everything, right? So therefore, keeping those servers in ourselves, right, make a lot of difficulties, and even with the limited number of staff that we have, right, it's very hard to keep up with the service, very hard to give a good service. But with the Gmail, right, after we switching into the Gmail, right, few years back, they never there's complaint that once email drop or failed the service or whatever, right? So, and also we have a lot of other services getting free, right? I'm going to explain that as well in few minutes with the Gmail. So security is actually pretty much high in the Gmail, so just you don't have to worry about anything. Right. So if there's no further questions, right? Let me.
Upanet, may I disturb you?
Sure, no problem.
Will it be possible for you to cancel one issued email? I mean, institutional email.
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
There are two options are in there. So we can suspend an email or we can totally delete an email. So if you suspend that, it will block all the incoming and outgoing mails from that. If you delete the email, total data and everything will be deleted.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Welcome, sir. Right. Now, let me show you, right? Now, I told you, right? So we have, these are the users assigned to administrate, right? By default, the direct ICT-CT Kolhapitiya, that email is used to register with the Google services. So therefore, that will always come, right? Otherwise, Mark Andhra admin and Mr. Akila is there, right, as the administrators. Now, why I'm showing this, right? So these are the email addresses, right? Currently we have, right? So with these, we can only reset the password, rename the user, add to the groups, right? And only these things we can do, right? So other than this, we cannot access to your accounts or whatever, right? So therefore, and please don't expect us to go to your Google Drive and backup it up to on behalf of you. So we can't do that, right? So that to be noted, right? Right. Let me introduce, right, to the institutional email. Right now, I told you, right, everything with our email lies on Google. So therefore, you need to log into the Google, right? So when you want to log into your email address, definitely you need to go to Gmail and sign in. I hope everybody knows this, right? So I'm going to use this email address. So give your email address. Now keep in mind, you need to give at wyp.ac.lk. That is the full email address need to be given. Otherwise, it will be treated as a Gmail account, the basic Gmail account. So that won't let you log in, right? So therefore, give the full name and the password, and you will be able to your email, right? So let's give a minute to load. Okay, so basically, this is your basic window, right? So you can change, if you are familiar with changing the settings, you will already know this, right? Now, let me explain one thing, right? So when I say compose, if you pay attention, right, you will see that automatically this best regards and my name and Director Information Communication Center, there are a few lines are appearing, right? So this is called the signature. So you can add this to in your email settings. So this will definitely help in two ways. Very first thing, rather than the personal email accounts, right? Like let's say openit@wib.ac.lk is as a lecturer, that is my personal email account. So other than that, let's say the director of ICT, right? So he can be replaced within time to time. So therefore, if you put my name, right, in the account name, so that is going to be cached into all the other users contact list. So therefore, when the ICT director changes, when he changes and he enters his or her name again, everybody only can see the previous director's name appearing because that is recorded or the saved in your contact list, right? So therefore, I strongly suggest everybody to go to your contacts, right? From this Google Apps button, right? Go to your contacts and search for those contacts and please delete it, right? So that is very much essential. So deleting from here means that you are not going to delete the account or whatever, you are going to delete the contact. So when another email receives by the same person, you will see the correct name. So therefore, what we are going to do is, for the positions, right, university positions like this, we are going to give the name. For an example, starting from the vice chancellor, all the positions, right, deans and other people, everybody, right, department heads, everybody, we are going to change the name to, let's say, head of the department of this, or head department of this. So like that. So you can include your name in the signature. So this will minimize the complications occurring with the names, right? So, and the second thing is, if you send this, right? Now, if I say I'm going to use this, I'm going to say send an email to Akila, right? If you don't put a subject name, or if you don't put anything on the email body, right, there's a huge chance that your email is going to record as a spam email. So if your email address is an institutional email, if your email address is going to record as a spam mail, that means that will very badly affect to the institute. That means all the other people's email addresses saying at the end at wib.ac.lk, those emails are going to be very suspicious to the email servers. So that means if you do this mistake, the repercussions will come to everybody. So you have to be very careful. That's why we are saying these things, right? So never send an email without a subject and without an email body. So in inserting a signature, that means automatically email body will contain some information. So that means the chance, right, going to be this email as a spam is going to get reduced. So definitely don't send emails with the subject. So at least put a single letter, right? So even single letter can be treated as spam, right? So it is not done manually. Yeah.
Even if you are forwarding it to another person, it is like that. You have to.
Actually, madam, it's like this. Now, if you have to forward a message, you will see definitely there's something in the subject line, like FWD, forward, and the title. And if you don't have a title, right, if you are trying to forward the email without a title, so automatically FWD 3 letters will appear. So that is from the system. So that means that sending email will definitely contain some. So better to make sure that email body and the subject lines are not empty. Okay. So that is the only thing.
Thank you.
Okay, madam. Right. So that's the important thing. Let me discard this. And so how to set it? How to set the signature, right? So very basically, there's a gear icon says settings in your Gmail account. Go over there and go to the settings, right? Right. In here, right, under the general tab, right, if you scroll down the bottom, right, under signature, you can apply signatures, right? So now I have only one signature created. Now keep in mind, people, you can create several signatures and keep it associated with your email account, and you can use only one at a time. So you can choose which signature that you need to use, right? So how to create one? Pretty easy, right? So click here, create new, right? Give it a name. Let's say my second signature, create, right? So my second signature. So we will be given a space to create one. So either using these things, these basic formattings, right? The font color, foreground, background color, text color, and underlining, italic, bold. Font you can change, right? The size you can change. So this is one way of creating a signature for you, right? So let me share with you another way, right? So if you go to the Google and search for, let's say, Gmail signature creator something, right? Let's say generator, right? So there are a lot of websites appearing, right, giving these services. So there's no hard fast particular site to use this, right? You can search and you can select whatever site you want. Just search for email signature generator creator or whatever the close-up search word, right? Let me go with this one, right? If I click the first link, right? So they will be offering choose platform, right? So a lot of these websites will give you signatures for a lot of other services as well. Better to go with start with Gmail, right? Search for these things. Now this is not common or always available in all the websites, right? You better search, right? And so you can include these data, right? So company data, graphics, right? Text, styles, and a lot of things, colors can be changed, anything, right? So in here you can choose, okay, let's say, all right, this one, right? So this is the pattern that I'm going to use. So change your detail accordingly. Let's say I'm just going to change my name only, right? Right? So, and apply to your signature. So every information has been applied, and you can copy, come back to your email and just paste, right? So if you are okay with this one, scroll down to the bottom and say save changes, right? Now it has been applied, right? Sorry, I need to change.
Select that.
Yeah, I missed that. Yeah, I've selected, no?
No, from bottom.
Which one?
No. Go up.
Yeah.
Go.
Sorry. Yeah. Missed that one. Thank you, Akila. Yeah. Saving, done. So when I say compose, this will automatically come up with your email, right? So I keep in mind, this is only available with the web version, right? So if you are going to log into your email account through the web, this will be available. If you are using Thunderbird or Windows Mail or whatever other email clients, you need to create your signature separately, right? So that's with the email signature, right? And let me, any questions here? So anyway, so from today onwards, please.
Dr. Upaneth, may I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
I remember that there was some initiatives and technology to add the authentication part to the signature. I have heard. Do we have something like that available to us?
Using a digital signature, authenticated digital signatures. So actually, that service has been incorporated yet to our services. So if you create that, we need to pay for the authentication, because that signature should be verified, should be a verified one. So therefore, that service is not available, still not available. Maybe in future we might be able to.
Yeah, recently ICTA also was thinking about like reinitiating this project about authentication.
Yes.
I think if it is going to be available, then email would be we can replace most of the transactions, hard copy letters with that, I think.
Yes, and now for the basic level, we can use the email, right? For an example, if we strict online document sharing to our domain, that means wyb.ac.lk, only those email accounts can see that document. Like that, we have basic filtering for that, but what you are saying is something bigger than that. So that means all the other, maybe another institution, maybe a government person can directly see that email coming from you is an authenticated one, like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that service is not available. I don't think so. It's available in even Moro tools. I don't think because
No,
I don't know.
I think they don't have it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you need to pay a lot of money to get that service up and running. So even I don't think the government, even our Sri Lankan government, don't have that service, I think.
Yeah, that is the reason they are thinking about ICTA taking some initiatives. Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, right. So signature is done. Now let me very briefly tell you about other things available to us associated to our email account, right? Now, keep in mind, people, that Institute email come up with a very big bundle of premium services. So when you go to this app, right? And one thing, if you are logging into our institutional email, wyb.ac.lk, this at wyb.ac.lk logo will appear. That will denote, okay, now you are in institutional email, right? In our YB University institutional email, right? So next one is, if you wish, put a good profile picture so others can see who's sending the email, right? By the picture, so they can identify you clearly. So that is not a must, but if you do it, if you put a professional photograph to your account, that would be very beneficial, right? So next one, the applications available to us, right? So Google Maps and other, there are few services available to us with all the free version of Gmail as well. But most important thing is, right? So we have Google Meet, which we are going not to discuss today, but give a brief introduction today. And also Google Drive. Those are the, and Google Classroom.
Dr. Puneet, adding a picture gives an advantage, like Zoom also directly imports your picture, so there will be some added advantages too.
Yeah, yes, that's so true, sir. That means if you have a picture in your email account, I told you at the very beginning, your email account is going to use for logging into the other services such as Zoom. So your picture in the Gmail, WIB institutional email account will be taken into those systems as well. So you don't need to change the pictures. You don't need to edit again and again. So yeah, thanks for reminding, sir. Right. So let me give you a 2-minute introduction to Google Drive, right? So everybody knows what is Google Drive, right? So let me compare Google Drive first. Wait. Now, I'm going to add another account and I'm going to log in with my free account, right? Open it at gmail.com. Let me go to this page as well. Okay. Now, okay, don't worry about the content, right? Just worry about this area, right? It says storage. Now, this is the Google Drive, which associated to my free Google account. Open it at gmail.com, right? So it says 15 GB used, right? Sorry, 2.5 GB of 15 GB used. So that means my entire online drive gives me only 15 GB. So I can put whatever I need in my Google Drive up to 15 GB. So that's it. So if you go to your internal storage, Google Drive associated to your WYB email account, it says 2.7 GB used. Just in your Google Drive. That means, for an example, there are some accounts with over 300, 400 GB gigabytes backed up into the Google Drive. So therefore, this is one of very important things, right, that you need to understand, and you can use this to back up whatever data you have, right? So usually, when you come to the university has 300 Mbps uplink and as well as downlink. That means at 300 megabytes per second speed, they can upload your data into the Google, right? So very easily you can upload several GBs within a few minutes of time, right? So this is practically happening. So therefore, I suggest everybody to back up all your data to your Google Drive. So all your exam things and other stuff, because nobody can access this unless you give the permission or unless you share it, right? So therefore, it is very secure. So usually, when entire world get destroyed, then the service will be destroyed. Otherwise, the Google has their services all around the world. So therefore, they're not going to lose anything, right? So these are the only one thing, right? So now let me share the things with Akhila. Now Akhila is going to show you, right, how to, now in later time, we are going to discuss these things one by one, right, with coming sessions. So for today, this is just a brief introduction. So what you will get with your email account and what you need to change, what you need to set up with your email account. Let me switch with Akhila, right? Akhila is going to say how to synchronize this with your computers, and as well as how to filter your emails according to the sender and other settings, right? Akhila, please.
Okay, thank you, Puneet. Let me share my screen with you.
Yeah.
Right. In Google Drive, you can download Google Drive app for your Windows PC. So what you have to do is you can just search download. Download Google Drive. And then when you go there, you can see this link, download Google Drive. So you can click that. Right, in the website, you can see for individuals, for business. So we're going to use individual one. That's a free one. So you can download that. What you have to do is just click download, and we have to agree their terms and then download it. Okay, when you download that, you can you have to install that, right? So then after you install that, you can see this window. I think you can see that.
Akhila, you need to share that.
Okay. Right. So you can see this window when you click on that downloaded file. So you can go here, and here what you have to do, you have to give the email. So my email is then next password. Okay, now we have to choose a folder. So that will act as the Google Drive in our PC. So whatever the things that we're going to put into that folder, they will automatically sync into your Google Drive. So you can choose a folder from here. So I'm going to create a folder.
Can you please explain a little bit about that syncing process so that everyone understands?
Okay, sir. So here, normally what we Google Drive or any online drive is normally we keep them as backup storage. So what we're going to do here is normally we prepare lecture notes and all other documents in our PCs, in our computers. And if we need to keep a backup on that in online storage, so we have to copy that or upload that into Google Drive or some other storage. So here what we can do, we can create a folder in our computer, and we can copy or save our documents in that folder. So this app will automatically upload those files into Google Drive. And if we have made any change in existing file, that also will be updated at the same time with the same file in Google Drive. So we don't have to worry about several number of versions of the same file in our PC or Google Drive. So this will automatically sort that issue also, right? So here what I'm going to do, so I'm going to create a folder in my PC, and
Excuse me, Akhil, you have to mention that if you somehow delete this file, right, that will be deleted from the drive as well, right?
Exactly. That's the important thing. So if you could delete this file, this folder, so everything will be going deleted, because when you make any change in this file, same change will be applied with the Google Drive. Okay.
Akhil, 1 second. Let me share one thing with you, right? Say you have a computer in your office and you have online Google Drive, and say you have a computer again in the home. Now you may think, okay, I need to share everything with these three, right? So you can do it in the same way, but keep in mind, if you delete something in your home computer, that will get deleted from the drive, then that will be deleted from the Office PC as well, right? So that happens to me once. I accidentally deleted and I couldn't be recovered that file. So what I did was, usually the office computer kept turned off, no? So when I go to the office, first I unplug the network cable, right? Then I start the computer. So if it is connected to the internet only, your files will be synchronized. So therefore, securely I secured my files from my second computer, and I was able to recover it, right? So those are tips and tricks that you can use if you accidentally delete it, right? And don't expect ICT to recover it for you. We can't, right? So it is individual business.
Okay, so the main advantage is that one, because if we have files in our laptop and again in our PC in university, and if you're going to use some other tab or something, so what you can do, you can log into the same account using this application. So all the data and all the documents will be available in that device. So this is totally device independent. So you can use any file from any device. So let me continue. Here I'm going to select the folder.
Akhil, yeah, choose a folder from different one.
Right. Okay, so I have selected that folder now. Right. So now I'm going to sync everything. So you can see here, sync everything in my drive. So I have 167 MB here. So I'm going to start, and again, let's start. So now what happened? All the data in my Google Drive will be automatically downloaded into that folder. So let me show you that. Okay, it will take some time until that. Right. So it's still syncing the files, right? So I'm going to pause that bit, and I'm going to move into the other. Is that okay, please?
Yeah, sure. Otherwise, it will take more time.
So we're going to show you again how you can manage your emails in your email account. So that means there is an option called filters. So we're going to show you that here. Right. In your email account, when you move to the left side, you can see labels, create new label. So that means you can create labels and identify all the emails that you are in your inbox, or you can categorize them using labels. So what you can do first, you have to create a label. So I have already created one label called Akhila, and I'm going to create a label called Upanith, because I'm going to send all the mails going to be received from Upanith into one inbox, another separate category. So I'm going to create a label Upanith, and again I'm going to create that. So now you can see here there is a label called Upanith, and again you can change the colors and other things, so you can easily identify that. Right. So now the purpose of creating this label is to keep all the receiving emails from Upanith into this category. Then I can easily search there. So what I'm going to do here, go to settings, and you have to go to filter and block address. So from here you have to create a new filter. So filter means this filter will select emails, receiving emails according to the given rules by us. So here these are the rules that we can apply. That means one is you can match with from email address. So if I want to match all the mails received from Upanith to this filter, I can give his email here. Again, if you want to filter some mails come into your mail, you can give the to address or subject. Again, if it contains some specific word, that also can be picked from here as the word. Right? So I'm going to just filter by from email. Then I'm going to create the filter. So then these are the actions that you can take with that filter, the filtered emails. So you can automatically make as read. Again, apply the label. So this is what we're going to do here. And again, you can set it to delete. So when the mail received from that email, it will automatically delete it. So this will be applied if you are getting some promotional emails like from online shopping sites or Facebook or anything. So what you can do, you can create a filter with that email address, and again you can apply here delete it. So then when the mail received into your inbox, it will automatically delete it. So here I'm going to apply the label. So I'm going to click here, apply the label, and I'm going to choose the label, open it, and create filter. Upanith, can you please send me an email?
Yeah. Send. It will take a few seconds.
Akhil, would you mind explaining us the use of these creating labels also, because I think it is
Okay,
to manage large number of emails.
So for example, I'm going to show you my email account. So here you can see these are the labels that I have created for faculty emails, receiving emails related to faculties, and again Kuta, like that. Here are the labels that I have created. So if I want to search a mail related to Kuta or something, again I don't know the subject, I don't know any exact word there, right? So what I can do, I can easily click there. Then all the mails received from Kuta is in that label. So I can filter all the data like here. Again, if I want to find an email related to Faculty of Technology, I have labeled them as F40. So I can click there and all the F40 emails will be shown here. And from this, I can easily find the email. So the main use of this creating labels is we can put these emails into some files or some other inboxes, categories. So then the main advantage is we can easily search them. So if you're going to keep those email files on these emails, we can just click on the label and then we can easily find the email. So that is the main advantage of creating labels. Right. So you can see now I have received the email from Upanith. So in my inbox now I have 3 emails. Again, I have created 2 labels. So you can see the first label, it shows me this is from this category. And again, the received email from Upanith, that is also shows Upanith. That is the label I have created. So then the advantage you can see here, that is we can easily identify this is mail coming from this party. Again, if I want to filter only the mails received from Upanith, I can just click on this label. So then you can see only that email will be shown here. So that is a filtering method. Again, the other importance of this settings, I mean forward and filters. For example, think that I'm going to receive promotional emails from some official, shopping site, online shopping site. Let's say Daraz.lk or something. So what we can do, we can create a new filter. Here I'm going to add email here, and I can create the filter. So if I don't want those email to be received in my inbox, I can just click delete it and then create the filter. So all the emails going to be received from that email will be automatically deleted. Again, there is another advantage here. That is, if you want to forward all the email received into this mail to another mail. For example, let's say you have a personal email account, Gmail account, and again you have this official email account. So if you want to forward all the mails received into your personal email account into this one, then again you can do that. Go to filters and blocks again, create a new filter. So if you put your email address here, I mean in this one, this account, this is Akila at, okay, so I'm going to filter all the emails going to be received into this email. So then all the incoming emails will be captured by this filter, and then I can forward it. So here I can add a forwarding address. Add a forwarding address here. I'm not going to add one here. Then you can select that and you can forward that emails into the other account. So most of the people, they are having this issue because they are having multiple email addresses, and again, if they don't want to check all the emails at once, they can add these filters and forward those emails automatically into your email official email account. The other thing that we want to explain is, in your Google account, you can see this icon here with 9 dots. So this is the Google Apps icon. So you can click there and you can see account. So this is the place where you can modify all the changes, all the things in your account. I mean password, your display name and everything. So you can click here. So if you see here, you can see these categories here, and if you want to change the password, you have to go to security. Here you can click on this. Then you can change the password. So as we explained earlier, it is better to have a strong password, because this email, your university emails, is going to be the main authentication system or main authentication fact in your university life. Right? So it is we highly recommend that you must create a strong password, and you can save it with yourself. Okay. So that is how you can change the password. If you have any questions, please interrupt me. The other thing is, we earlier mentioned you that you must add a recovery phone number and a recovery email. So again, this is the place where you can change it. So what you have to do is go to these app settings, and again account, and from account you have to go to security, and there you can find recover phone number. So please add your phone number, then it will easy for you to recover your password and other things.
And one more thing, Akila, now when you are putting a recovery email address, please don't use the WYB addresses as well, right? Because you are trying to recover a WYB email address again with a WYB email address, so that won't a good idea. Better to use your another one email address, like something at gmail.com or something like that.
Gmail, oh, not Gmail or anything, right? Yeah.
So this is an exception for the administrator, right? Because he's the administrator, right? So he can access it really easily. So that's right.
Then again,
I think, yeah.
Personal info, and here this is the place where you can change your display name. You have to log in first. and you can change your display name from here if you want. And contact information and other things, right? So you can go through this one, and you can modify the detail according to your ones. So any questions, please?
And please let me add to one thing to that. Now there are several sections: your contact information, your email, passwords, and recovery things, and there are a lot of information. So please go to your email today and fill out what is left blank. So because that is essential when you are logging into some, let's say, if you were given the chance to log into some calculation servers through the Learn, right? Those information will be fed to that services as well. So if you if the information contain blanks, so that means there's high probability that your account won't be accepted on that system. So therefore, keeping a complete profile is very much helpful. So so take few minutes of your time and fill out everything that is essential in the Google profile as well.
Excuse me, that I want to ask now that Google account site TTS, that is secure, but Yahoo is not secure, no? That means Yahoo mails, they don't have HTTPS secure, not secure, ne? That means there's a difference between Google
Usually,
mail.
Yahoo is also running with HTTPS. Now, usually now what that HTTPS means, it denoted from your end, your computer to that server, there's a secure link. There's an encryption running on. So definitely, so a middle person cannot take your data. That is the idea. Only you and the server knows how to encrypt and decrypt the data. So that's the HTTPS means. So
I noticed that Yahoo, they don't have that test. Only the Google.
Yeah, no, sir. Actually, Yahoo is also having that. Not that cannot be happen because it is there, right? Now, when you see this HTTPS, right? Better to go to this icon, and you can check, right? So how secure this is? Okay. So the authentication information and yeah, a lot of things are there, right? So you can check whether it is secured or not, who issues the certificates and other stuff. So there are a lot of technical information is available if you're interested. So basically when you are, so this is a general tip, when you are visiting sites, right? When you are giving your personal information or whatever, it is advisable, always advisable to check this address comes with HTTP or HTTPS. So if it is S is there, so that means you can, up to some extent, you can get a guarantee that the data you are sending from your end definitely will only be received from the other end, that means the server. So no in-between person can use that data. So that is the idea you can get. So that's all about, I think that's enough. Yeah. So I think with that information,
Calendar.
yeah, we can wind up for today, Neha. Yes.
Calendar.
Are we going to use the calendar today?
So let's finish that and end, right?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. One more important thing is the next thing we are going to talk. That's the last thing for today. We are going to discuss is the Google Calendar, right? So you will, yeah, Akhil, please.
So the importance of this Google Calendar is you can, it will comes here as a small icon, and again you can add all the events into this calendar. So the important thing here, you can have the Google app in your smartphone also, Google Calendar app. So if you have Google Calendar app, so what you can do, if you see a mail here or something, you can add that event into your Google Calendar, and that automatically update your mobile phone as well. So if you set a reminder, so when you add the event into Google Calendar from your PC account, then your mobile phone will automatically let you know or alert you you have this event in this time. So you can the calendar will sync with your PC and your smartphone, right? So what you have to do, you can click here Google Apps and you can go to calendar. So normally you can keep this as a diary. So what you can do, you can just click here and drag the mouse down or up. They can add the event. You can add a title here. Again, you have more options. You can go to more options. And here what you can do is you can set notifications in more options. So notifications in 10 minutes or 1 minute, you can set it. You can save it. Similarly, you can change the color if you want, right? So after that, you will get a notification like that in your PC and the mobile phone as well. So if you want to share this one, email guest, you can click on that and you can add other email of the guest, and this event will be automatically added into their calendar as well. So similarly, if they have the mobile app, they will notify that we have scheduled a meeting on that time. So we suggest you that you can use this as a day planner or a year planner, and again it will be very easy for you to remind things or remind events. So again, if you have, we suggest you to try this one. And again, if you have more questions or if you need any help regarding these things, we always there for you. You can help you.
And adding to that, I think if you make your calendar public, right? For an example, now say a department head wants to organize a department meeting. So if the members of the department, they have make their calendar public, right? That means searchable by others. So department head can go through their calendar and pick a suitable time. So and edit and share it with the department members. So automatically that will be added to their calendars as well. So others can get notifications very easily without sending an email, reminders and everything. You can share everything with your calendar. So only thing that you need is to update your calendar and use it as a regular diary or something like that. So that would be very easy. And also there are some settings and other stuff. Now this is not the time, but in a later session we will convey these things. Now if you are, let's say, if you are going abroad or if you are taking leave right from a particular period, you can set that in your account. So all the emails, when somebody send you an email, they will get an automatic reply. So you are on leave, you are on vacation, you will be back on this day. So until that, you are not going to check your email. So that is a good practice. And letting the other people know that you are not available. Yeah, that is coming under vacation responder shared by Akila, right? So now what we need now, today is not a day to share everything, right? There are a lot of things you can do, right? So we invite you to go through these things, right? There are a lot of options available associated to your email account. There are a lot of premium services as well. So please try them, right? Give it a try, right? If something went wrong, let us know, right? We can help you on resetting that. So don't worry, right? So nothing will happen, only if something goes really, really bad, we remove the account and we create a new one, right? So don't worry, right? So there are always options available. So try yourself, right? So try one, and now you have definitely everybody's having 2 email accounts, right? So send one email to another and check the options. So, and there are a lot of hundreds of videos available in YouTube how to do these things. So I think as academics, we can spend few minutes of time and make ourselves knowledgeable on these things. So definitely that will help you to ease up your life, right? Definitely, because now without getting an email, if you get a notification, say, okay, on this day, you are going to have a meeting on this topic. So you don't need to check your email, right? So that means more than 50-60% of emails that we are sending to scheduled emails can be dropped with using Google Calendar really easily. So I like that we can adapt into those things, because now since our emails are associated in Google accounts, these facilities are always available. So better to familiar with these things. So I think actually, is there anything more to add? Okay, from my side also, sir, we can wind up if you have no further questions. If you have anything to clarify, we are very happy to help.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, this is this is regarding a major policy decision. This can be considered by both ICT directors, and this should be taken up at the ICTG committee. A year ago or 2 years ago, we have compiled or we have approved the ICT policy for the university. I think, if I can remember, we have mentioned something about the official the use of official email in the official work. But however, so far it seems that the academics are not using the official email. So you correctly mentioned in this program that you encourage them to use. But I think that there must be some regulation from the university side. So perhaps you can tell everybody by 2021, January 1st, everybody has to use their official account. So it could be a rule in the university. It can be a rule because otherwise there will be a credibility of the emails circulated using their Gmail or Yahoo and the things. So you may consider that. Second thing is, I think you better consider whether this official email can be provided to even the contract staff like the demonstrators. When their contract is over, you can delete the email account after, say, for example, 1 month time. So I think these are the things that you have to consider. Otherwise, if only all others are using, but the demonstrators, the research assistants, if they are not using, I don't know. I think we have the capacity to give the email account. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So please consider. I don't need the answer now.
Yes.
No. Actually, there is answer, sir. That's why I'm waiting for you to finish. Actually, sir, now we have started distributing this. Now, very first thing is we can have unlimited number of accounts, email accounts. There are so limitation. So therefore, everybody can be given an email. So what we have started is, now we have observed none of the non-academics and administrative officers are using the institutional email. So we started with that because there are a lot of academics are using.
Yes.
So what we have done is, now we have created almost everything is finished. Account creation is finished. Now we are delivering those information to them and clearly ask the SAR and AR and other people who are scheduling the meetings by the instructions. So to convey the message, we are sending the minutes and other things only to do institutional email from here on. So they will inform, so that that will encourage others to move, because we have to give some time to and also we are on the discussion. There are a few things on the discussion, that is like when somebody is recruited to university, so that before sending their appointment letters from the academic establishment or non-academic establishment, please update the ICT on new recruit. So we can create the email account at the same time. And also it goes to the other way around. If somebody is, let's say, going away from the university, say retiring, or let's say transferring, or something happens, academic or non-academic establishments, they know. So they need to inform to the ICT. They have to inform to the ICT before releasing them to remove, clear up the ICT login information, email and everything. So that is.
So you can streamline that. The thing, it's not difficult because quickly we need to move to this the e-platform in doing such communications. So I think you should take the leadership and do these things. I think you can do it. It's not a difficult thing.
No, sir. No, actually, no.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
That is,
Thank you for attending. Okay. Yeah, okay. Tell me. Any
yeah.
other
And
constraints?
yeah, the
Then
other
I
things
can.
are for the contract people like demonstrators and research assistants and other people. So now we are like, it's like we can give the, without problem we can give the email address. Now only thing what we need is to take the responsibility by the particular, let's say for an postgraduate student, the
Yeah.
supervisor can take the responsibility. Okay, your email account under my authority, right? It's like something like that.
Yeah. Now
Can
it's
be
now
initiated.
all are if there is if they are research students or the research assistants. If they are research assistants, so there are two categories. One is
Yes.
research assistant, other one is a research student. Now let's talk about the research assistant. They are employed by the university, so the contract or the permanent, they are employed by the university, so they have to abide the university regulations. Otherwise, they will also subject to the disciplinary code. So they are paid by the university. So I think that can be sorted out easily, because when we give the appointment letter, those things are just including such things in the appointment letter.
Yes.
I think you can talk these things with the academic establishment branch, and then easily the students, you can discuss this at the we can discuss at the high degree committee whether the postgraduate students should be given the official email account from the university as a kind of we are charging a fee from them, so then something has to be given to them. They are not anymore undergraduates. Even other universities, as you know that, I mean, overseas, all undergraduates are given this one, and using this only they can access the library services and everything. You can step by step think about that, but I don't want to drag this further. Others might feel it very boring and administrative things. So we can have a discussion. I just gave some thoughts to plan ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Right. Thank you very much.
And thank you, everyone. I guess you can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining the first workshop. In fact, this is a kind of experience, a new experience for all of us. I guess, but with the help of ICT Center, we could deliver something useful to the participant. And also, we at the end, we had a short but very important kind of a policy discussion. In fact, though everything is available around us, until we use them, they will not be useful. Thus, we need to somehow force and convince and force our staff to use these facilities. Otherwise, it is no point. There is no point of investing our money on these ICT facilities. And thank you, everyone who joined the workshop, and also ICT staff who help us to conduct the workshop. And the next workshop will be tomorrow at 9:30, and as I informed you already. And we are planning for the next week too. And I have received some important areas to be addressed from about 50 staff members, academic staff members. Thus, by considering those needs, I will schedule another series of workshop. I invite you all to attend this important series of workshop. At the same time, if our academic permanent, particularly permanent academic staff members, particularly the HODs and deans, wants to invite their junior staff, I mean the temporary staff like demonstrators and tutors, of course, they are welcome. Please inform them, since I do not have email addresses of all those temporary staff. I will not be able to communicate about the workshop and the login details. but I send those login details a little bit early. I mean, maybe tomorrow, for the tomorrow's workshop, I will send the login details today so that you can get ample time to inform the other staff. Again, thank you very much for everyone for joining, and Dr. Upaneth and Ms. Akila Jayasankar for helping me to conduct this workshop. Let's meet tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Bye.